Hey you guys, welcome back to my video. Today I have a reaction with you guys. I I really haven't done like a Libs TikTok reaction at all. I've just done like random videos that people have sent me in the past of, woke TikToks and stuff like that. And I feel like you guys really like my woke TikToks, so I am going to be doing more of those. Probably every week, probably, because you guys like those so much. And I do feel like that it gives you perspective of how destructive and insane our country has become, because it does focus more on, American politics within our country. And it's something that I feel like is very important to talk about, especially with what's going on right now. We're gearing up for World War III, but we have people literally wanting to mutilate children before we go into war. So it's just and we have weak men running our country, and weak men that literally don't want to go to war to defend our country either. So I mean, it's just it's like a double-edged sword at this point. You know what I mean? So with all this shit that's going on, I feel like this would be like a cool down from my latest content of like going through all of this psyop that I like to call it, which I've come to learn about everything that has been going on with the Israel and Palestine conflict. It's all so insane if you look deeper. But I'm going to get into this reaction and react to things that I feel like is very important. And let's get started.
I know I'm probably just being so dramatic and annoying, but this is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me fucking forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now, so that's off the table. Like, fucking duh! If I was able to walk to work, it'd be fine, but I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30, and I don't get home till, like, 6:15 earliest, and then, like, I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window. Like, I'm so upset. Oh my god. Nothing to do with my job at all, but just like the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy. Being in the office 9 to 5, like if it was remote, you get off at 5 and you're home and everything's fine. But like, I'm not home. It takes me long to get home, and like people that drive to the office, like you don't get off at 5, and I know it could be worse. I know I could be working longer, but like I literally get off, it's pitch black. Like I don't have energy. How do you have friends? Like how do you have time to like meet like a guy? I don't know. Like how do you have time for like dating? Like
She's
I don't
not
have
wrong.
time for anything, and I'm like so stressed out, and I'm also getting my period, so that's why I'm a little emotional. But like, am I so dramatic? It's fine.
No, girl. With what the feminist movement have done, it has gone so far that it has set women back so far as well. You know what I mean? They've progressed in like allowing women to be able to get paid and have equal pay and all this kind of stuff. But what it has done, it has taken women's value away. And that's just my opinion on this. I think there are women out here that love to go work, love to be independent, love to be a boss bitch and stuff like that. But I feel like there are women out here that is not capable of keeping that lifestyle up, because like it's really hard on them, you know what I mean? Especially when they're on their periods and they're very emotional, like this woman said in the video. I think that it has taken away women's opportunities to find men and to be able to have children and to settle down and stuff like that when they're constantly working 24/7, basically, you know what I mean? Well, not really 24/7, but it feels that way. I relate. Like I just started working a job that is 8 hours, basically a 9 to 5. And you do not have time for yourself. You really don't have time for yourself. But I see, I'm a hard worker. I'm capable of doing this. I'm a man at heart. Like I'm good at that. I know how to balance everything the way I want to. But women, I think it's very different. They strive to want other things. They want to go out with their friends. They want to find a man to settle down with, and I think that I really think that conservatives, like, I hate that they make fun of, women like this. It's like, you don't see how the feminist movement have fucking destroyed women. And you don't see how, this country Basically it's so hard, to like keep up the lifestyle that you want in this country, especially in this fucking inflation. um Politics plays a big role in this too. It's like, it makes it much more harder for them. But also, these kids that go to college and, like, they're set on, everyone's saying like, oh, you'll have fun in college, like have fun, make friends, go out and party, do this and do that. It's just a free for all for these kids that are in college. And that's why I didn't never go to college, because I feel like it was for lazy people that actually want to think like they're smart, you know what I mean? And they're not smart. And they don't actually get to feel life, you know what I mean? And they don't get to experience that. And you see, that's what happens with these kiddos. Like they get out in the real world and they start to work. And even during the pandemic, like, they wasn't really going to class and being sociable and stuff like that, but now they have to get out of college and go to work and pay the bills and stuff like that. I think it is hard on them. And I feel for her. I relate to her in so many ways. I really don't like that no one is pointing out the issues of why she's so like upset. And it's because of, literally, our fucking country is literally being destroyed by progressive policies. And it's because the feminist movement has set women back. And that's just how I feel. And I feel like the going to college system has fucking failed you know our generation. They just have. They're not learning anything. The only thing they're learning is to fucking be progressive, dumb, and lazy, honestly, at this point. And just because they have a degree, they think that like they're set for life, and it's not true. But yeah, that's my perspective on this. I feel bad for women like that have to go through this, because honestly, like, I feel like she'll probably be so much better with a man, you know, having children and just settling down and just letting him do his thing, but also have someone on the side, you know. But yeah, that's my perspective on this. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is there a ball in his fucking mouth? Ew. Did he think that was cute? Did he think that that was cute? I'm so sick of like this perversity that's happening in our country. Like, it is honestly, it's going to get so much worse. Like, it's going to get so much worse. They're already allowing like children to like basically make the decision to get on these you know like drugs to basically castrate themselves and stuff like that. Um and now you have grown men like in public literally promoting their fetishes, drinking out of bottles and wearing diapers and like basically children's clothes and stuff like that. Um and see, this is what when you look into stuff that's happening in America, we have like, our society has crumbled so much, especially during the pandemic, and they know what they did. Like, the elitists know what they did when they locked us down. They've created so many mental illnesses. So many people have literally became so fucking crazy during that time, and that they honestly, some of these people are very lost. You know what I mean? And this is why I talk about stuff like this, America first, because there's a lot of issues that we are not paying attention to because everybody's so fucking dumb, okay? And the fact right now that we're gearing up to like basically start World War III, and we having men in fetish gear and drinking out of baby bottles and shit like that in the middle of a mall, that should honestly frighten you. Like, it should honestly frighten you. Like, people think that like I'm a weak piece of shit. No, like, I will fucking fight for this fucking country for sure. For my people, for my loved ones, for sure. Even though I disagree with what the fuck we're going to be fighting for, and for what, I disagree with that. But I would for sure protect my fucking family, my fucking country, for sure. That's how I feel. I'm very like that in the brain. But people like this, they're lost. Like, you want someone like that to be fucking going and fighting for our country, if some fucking shit breaks, like fucking goes crazy, you want someone like that to be going like, and you don't think that's a fucking issue that we should be worrying about? That's why I say America first. Shit like that is what's setting our country back so fucking far. It's weakening our men. Our men are not like, bring manly men back, like for real. And like, you know, like I don't associate being weak to gay. You know what I mean? Because I'm not fucking weak, bitch. I'll beat your fucking ass if I fucking could. If you came up to me, I would beat the fuck out of you. You know that, like like being gay doesn't equal weak, but weak men is what equals a weak man, and that is a weak fucking man. It's just things like that is what we need to be talking about, and no one ever actually, like, they make fun of those people, but they don't even talk about the core issue. It's mental illness. We have a lot of we have a lot of mental disorders that's happening in this country, and it's due to big pharma, it's due to social media, it's due to a lot of different fucking things, and that's something that we need to dismantle and actually talk about and actually get to the fucking root of everything, instead of trying to like be like, look, he doing this, he doing this. Talk about the deep root of why. Talk about the deep root of why. Mental fucking illness. That's a lot of it happening, and a lot of these big corporations have to blame of it. Okay, especially TikTok, especially a lot of social media as well. Wake the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really hate the right wing movement sometimes. Like, I really do, even though I think that their values are much more better than liberal values for sure. But they never talk about the core issues of why. You know, they always make fun, but they never talk about the core issues of why and what's their agenda of why they want to do this. So weaken the fucking men, okay? So they can be able to control you, and so they can fucking conquer. That's why. So fucking dumb.
For the next 5 years, high school students in Oregon will not need to perform proficiency tests showing mastery of reading, writing, or math in order to graduate.
So
This
dumb.
comes as the Oregon Board of Education unanimously voted to extend a pause on the graduation requirement yesterday until 2028. They're citing inefficiency and inequity. Joel Jones going around the headlines tonight to find out what this pause
You
will
gotta be
mean for
killing me.
students.
You gotta be killing me. You're killing me.
This is a controversial decision and one that's facing a lot of pushback. While some
Oh,
say
you
the
think?
decision will lower state standards and cheapen an Oregon diploma, the Oregon Department of Education tells me this policy simply didn't work and disproportionately harmed students of color.
For the next 5 years,
They really have to make, see, this is how you know, this is how they feel about black people. They feel like that we're so dumb. You know, just because some of us don't test great, I mean, for the majority we don't, but that does not mean that we shouldn't be taking proficiency tests in school in order to pass, in order to graduate. I think it's really dumb. And honestly, I feel like I think it's also pandering as fuck. I do not like that they do that, because honestly, it makes it seem like that they try to make it like, you know, much more easier for people to pass. But here's the thing. This is my thing. It's not about, you know, black people are just less, like, not smart and stuff like that. Because it is true that, like, statistically, black people, we do not test right. We're not really good in school. It's just the facts. But if you look at the culture, you look at what's surrounded with a lot of things that's happening in the black community, you see how fucking degenerate, less than smart, and fucking crazy our fucking our fucking I guess you can say generational curses is in our families and black culture in the hood. You people out there, you think that like I come from like a white neighborhood, like I'm a white neighborhood. No, I've learned to like actually disband from what I've seen other people do in my family and in many of areas in where I live. Everyone around me is very hood. Everyone around me is very degenerate. Everyone around me is very less than smart. And I chose to go the opposite route, which is to talk properly, look my best wherever I go, no sagging. Like, and I think that you guys, you don't really see, like, it's actually the culture. Like, these parents are not teaching their children their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. They're basically making them become rappers at fucking 9 years old. Have you ever seen that one kid recently that was that went viral, and that was basically talking about getting oral sex and stuff like that, like from women and stuff like that. I seen it on Candace Owens, and it was actually very disgusting. And it goes to show how fucking why black students aren't really being proficient in these proficiency tests, because it's our generation. That's the issue. It's our generation, and not only that, it's the culture, and that's something that no one is wanting to talk about. They just want to like be like, oh, like those black kids, they're just dumb. Like, no, it's no one's teaching them, no one's teaching them, and that's why. But I find that to be a slap in the face to try to like give black people an easy pass, But no, you should actually get some teachers in there as well to teach them correctly. Um, and maybe they could pass more, but also we have to learn to like get parents involved in the schools and have them teach their kids how to be a good, valuable citizen in this country. That's just how I feel about that. But shame on them, shame on them. That's just how I feel about that.
Affirming care in minors. There's a lot of misinformation around gender-affirming care in minors. First of all, puberty blockers. Puberty blockers are safe, and interestingly, puberty blockers are given to cisgender kids now when little girls or little boys experience precocious puberty, meaning puberty very early, around like 4, 5, 6, 7. They will be given puberty blockers to delay puberty, not prevent it, so that when they're closer to 12, 13, they can get off the puberty blockers and then puberty happens as typical. As far as long-term fertility issues, puberty blockers have no link to long-term fertility issues. And trans young people are not getting gender reassignment surgery. They're not getting top surgery. They're not getting bottom surgery until they are 17, 18, sometimes 16 for top surgery, but they have to have parental consent, a medical team, and doctors are trained to weigh risk versus reward for their patients. And ultimately, these are private decisions, and there's so much misinformation out there. Make sure you talk to a trans person who's been through it before you go online.
I am so sick of like these woke celebrities, especially Jonathan. He was on a podcast like not too long ago. He basically cried because this guy told him that he didn't agree with allowing a biological man to compete in women's sports.
With you about this, I didn't want that at all. I adore you. I think you're hysterical and talented, and I love that you're an activist.
I could just like cry because I'm like so tired of having to like fight for little kids because they just want to be included. I wish that people were as passionate about little kids being able to like be included or grow up as they were about fictitious women's fairness in sports.
You know what I mean? Because obviously men are built different than a fucking woman. Duh. And, he basically cried because he couldn't believe, he couldn't really combat or debate with him. He just started crying. And, it's really sad how like these people really promote this kind of stuff, because honestly it's just setting back American young children and these woke ass parents that don't know shit from shit, and they just believe these people, and they use celebrities to get their message across, their agenda across, just to weaken our population even more. And it's really sad how they just really come out here and be like, oh, like no child is getting gender affirming surgery, basically mutilating their fucking chest as a little girl. I mean, look at Chloe Cole. Like, you trying to say that her story doesn't mean anything? You don't think that other children out there are doing that? They are. And yes, you do have fertility issues. I'm so sick of people making up this lie that is safe and that you can easily just get off of it and you'll be fine. No, it actually does fuck up your fucking body a lot. I mean, if you look at the transitioners and see how it affects them, you don't think that affects regular actual trans like people and stuff like that? Like, that's why it's so important to not allow children to transition, because it is very effective and it will fucking permanently scar you for life. I follow detransitioners, and detransitioners follow me as well, and they share their stories about it, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty stories, okay? And it's really sad, and that's why I feel like it's important to not allow a child to make that decision. But, America, they love that. They love that children can make decisions on their own to basically consent to changing their gender. What else do you think they're going to try to allow children to consent to? What do you think else they're going to allow them to consent to? I'm just so sick of this bullshit. It's just so fucking sick to me, okay? Makes me sick to my stomach, because they only want to weaken our young ones, have them mutilated, And also, not only that, not even create families for themselves, have a happy life. It's just so destructive, and I'm so sick of it. It's just so sad. Like, it really is. It's so sad how much our society has crumbled into looking like this due to progressive policies. It's crazy. Wow. And you wonder why, like, why they want people to be so weak. Like, only to control them. Like, it's on every single thing that has been said in this video today. It's all about control at the end of the day. It really is. And people will wonder why would people want to control their citizens? Well, if you control your citizens, guess what? You get more power, you get more money, you get more everything. Like, you don't understand. Like, that's why it's so important that we have the Second Amendment right and First Amendment right. Because without that, we wouldn't be actually nothing in this country. We wouldn't be as free as many other countries aren't. And, you know, that's what they want. They don't want us, they want to compete with China. They want to, like, be the ultimate power that is, you know, in the faces of all of the other world leaders. Like, that's what they want to do. But in order for them to do it, they have to sacrifice their own citizens. And, you know, with these progressive policies, that's what is happening. Like, look at those people there. Like, you think that's normal? That's not fucking normal. And people out here, they would really advocate for people to actually take drugs and be on the streets and live on the streets and think that that's cute and think that that's, like, you know, living their life. But it's like, no, you're literally, you're destroying our fucking country. You're destroying people that's in our country, and you are helping the government to achieve that. And nothing I hate more is seeing things like that, because I'm pretty sure that city used to be so beautiful until these people started to think that it was okay to take illegal drugs, and just because you can. Like, it's really awful. And it goes back to the mental health epidemic that's in this country. And it has a lot to do with big pharma, it has a lot to do with big food, it has a lot to do with our government. And no one out there is actually wanting to target that. They always be like, oh my God, look at the people, look at them, like, oh my God. But they never talk about the core of why and how, you know what I mean? And I feel like there's very rarely anyone out there is actually doing that, you know? I do. And I think people who watches me, like, they're very smart to understand it. But people who are new to this, like, that's what it is about. But it's really fucking sad, you guys. I pray that you guys out there wake up who watches me that is new. I pray that the conflict between Israel and Palestine stops, even though I think it's not going to stop, because I think it's a much bigger agenda than what they're telling us. I think that this is all planned. I think that God's kingdom is coming back. I feel that way. I feel like that a lot of stuff is happening for a reason, and, you know, all I can do is pray and hope for the best and try to protect my family, protect myself, protect other people around me. I pray that God protect this country. I protect this world, you know. But this world is not what He intended it to be. So it is what it is. But I feel like it's important to combat this as well. Because why would you allow destruction to happen right in front of your fucking face, you dumb, stupid fuck? Like, why would you want that to happen? Like, why would you allow that? Stupid ass. I can't. Anyways, I'm done. You guys, please wake up. Look deeper in everything. Shit's getting really real, and no one's seeing it. The divide in this country and the power that another country has to make us divided is insane. I just can't. Anyways, I'm done.